reaction on that HDMI is a little bit scary, that it could be that dicey. But anyway, we will see when you guys come in and report to me. We will see what exactly is going on. And we're going to talk a little bit about Baselworld. Was it a success or a fail?
It's scary.
And let's see, David's in the house. Andrew's in the house. It came up twice. Oh, I'm not sure what that means. Seiko made a Batman. Well, there you go. Absolutely they did. Yeah, they did. And Seiko is coming. Seiko's getting aggressive with some higher-end Seiko products. And there's some controversy on one of the Grand Seiko forums, not forums, on one of the Facebook groups about this issue where they're putting the spring drive in and more Seikos, if you will, as opposed to Grand Seikos. So, by the way, I had a little color with this tie since spring is right around the corner. Figured I'd add a little bit of color. Carlos is in the house. Carlos, if you would like to Skype in, let me know and give us a report from the field. We always like to receive reports from the field from those wearing day-date 40s, because we have a lot of respect for people that wear a day-date 40. And we have a lot of respect for people that are moving and in action and making things happen, people that are in motion, as the Bitcoin Meister would phrase it. So that's the name of that tune. This channel is all about people that are making things happen. Rolex priming themselves up for next year. We'll talk about Rolex and what Rolex did or didn't do. Thank you for hosting the live stream this afternoon. It's great to have someone not beholding to the hype train in this conversation. Brian's in the house. Brian Perry's in the house. Wonder why he doesn't have a wrench. Is he the one that said he didn't want a wrench? Anyway, let us know if you want a wrench. Grand Seiko hit it out of the park. Unfortunately, so far most mortals can't afford them. Day-date 40 is a win. Turkey Vulture for the win. So here's my thought on this. Craig, whatever you want. Okay, Carlos is going to call in. Let me get Skype here on the forefront on my computer, and just go ahead and call me when you can, and we'll answer it, and we'll bring you in for a live report. Live reports trump whatever else we are doing, because we like to hear what's going on out in the field. Rolex too busy counting their money. That's a good point. I'll pass on the wrench for now, thanks, though. There we go. Brian Perry doesn't need a wrench. The original Batman on Oyster is a keeper. I like the, I really like the Jubilee. I have to say, if I had my choice, and of course years ago I had a black GMT. Oh, here we go. He's calling. Let me answer this puppy here.
Perry doesn't need a wrench.
Okay.
Batman.
And
Hello, Craig.
make sure your camera's selected.
Okay.
So we can see you. There we go. Okay, can you turn it horizontal
Yes.
and see what happens?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Very good. Carlos is in the house reporting live. And let me see. Can you give us a shot of the day-date 40?
Yes, of course.
Okay, let's take a look here. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, hold it still. Oh, geez. Look at that, folks. Now, that's real time. That's Sunday. Notice how it's telling us that it is Sunday. And it's telling us the time. You can see that his time zone is a little bit different than us. It's 4:01 here.
Yeah, here is 1 hour ahead.
Yeah. You know, you look
Or
like you're
behind.
you look like you're a little bit fast. You look like you're more than 1 minute past the hour. We just came up on 2 minutes. That's right. We just came up on 2 here. So we're 4:02 right now. And is yours 4:03?
Yes.
You're a minute fast, I
No,
think.
3 is.
Of course,
3
there's a
minutes
delay.
past 3.
Of course, there's a delay. So yeah, that accounts for some of it. Maybe even 30 seconds of it. That is a beauty, folks. That is a Date 840 in white gold. Oh, we can't see it. Oh, jeez, I'm an idiot. Now I switched to it. Now you can see it. Thanks for telling me in the chat. You guys got to keep me straight on this. There's that Date 8 with that fluted bezel and that President bracelet. Can you turn your wrist around so we can see the hidden clasp? Look at that thing. That is gorgeous. Now, how many links did you take out?
No, I added one link.
You added one link.
I had to use an extra link.
So when it comes, is it sized to 7.5 inches maximum?
Yeah, but it was too tight for me. I really needed another extra link.
But do you know what size wrist it comes with as far as if you use the standard links? Do you know what size wrist it would fit?
I would say 7.5, but
not
maybe
not quite.
Not quite.
Okay, so you had to add one just to get it comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay.
And those are not cheap on these ones.
No. I'm sure they aren't.
Yeah.
Can you show us the dial again? Just swing it around. Show us the dial. Absolutely stunning. That's deserving of a moment of silence. That is something. That is just really, really something. And they're saying in the chat, that's a beauty. Is the Date 840 the best all-gold watch for daily wear? I think so, Pet Shop Boy. I think so. That's a watch you can wear all the time. Jack Nicklaus, famously has worn his Date 836 for 50 years. And it's his only watch. He wears it all the time. He takes it off and puts it in his golf bag when he's actually playing, but then when he finishes his round, it goes right back on the wrist. So that's a watch you can wear all the time. Do you agree, Carlos?
Yeah. Regarding this, especially in Panama, that here, let's say weapons can only be obtained easily by the bad people. I really would not like to wear here yellow gold as a daily wear. I don't have any problem wearing this at any time to anywhere, but I will be, let's say, not so, let's say, sure or safe going with a golden
yellow gold.
Especially, this is quite hot, and usually we are wearing short sleeves and maybe
so it would be
too much wool.
Yeah, so everybody would know. They'd see all that gold, and with the white gold, you feel a little more comfortable that you're a little bit under the radar.
Yeah, and also another thing that happens here, to be honest, is that Panama is a very, very nice country, but usually people who are white usually already has a lot of bias regarding. Usually people expect that someone that is, let's say, white without any kind of mix, they relate that to, let's say, having a good position. Is something that happens really.
Okay. Well, that is a beautiful piece. Any quick impressions on Baselworld that you want to share before we let you go?
Not really. I like everything. I like the new Batman. I really love the Jubilee. In fact, one of the problems that I have after purchasing this watch is that I really don't know what to do with the other watches. I probably I will leave some of the watches to my kid or whatever, or because also another thing that happens is that I am realizing that I will only use this. And I don't know what to do.
So you can that's perfectly acceptable for you to consolidate and sell some of the other watches and give a watch to your children and to consolidate. That's very respectable. I have a lot of respect for people that can do that and can go into a one watch rotation or a 1 or 2 watch rotation. I'm trying to do it myself. I'm headed that direction right now. I'm in a 2 watch rotation, but I'd love to get down to a 1 watch rotation. And a Date 840 might be the ticket. It just might be. It's about 220 grams, I think. It's some heft on your wrist. You don't find the weight to be a problem for wearing all the time?
No, I notice it more than other watches. Yeah, but the problem that I have, and this regarding other thing that you comment usually, is that, for example, last year I purchased a Datejust 36
Mm-hmm.
on Jubilee
Mm-hmm.
and flooded. And when I purchased this watch, I with the dealer that I purchased it for, that is David SW. I asked him about the possibility of selling the other watch because I really realized that having this, I will not wear on any way the other one.
Yep.
And considering that it was a watch with less than 1 year, I would have to accept a loss of thir- around $3,000.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, because
And
he's not gonna give you that much on trade because he's gonna turn around
yeah,
and resell it.
yeah, for sure. And the
Yeah.
problem is, as I hear, we don't have really a secondary market to do that. Maybe in the
N-
future, or
Now,
I will do. Yeah.
would you like to announce your watch for sale in case anybody wants to buy it? Or is it on the market?
Really not.
Okay,
Really
let
not.
us know if you
Okay.
decide. If you decide, we'd be happy to talk about it on the channel and maybe find somebody that would love to have your Datejust 36.
Yeah, maybe at some time something. I also I understand that dealers have to make money, but maybe once I take my decision about this consolidation, that probably will include maintaining just this and Explorer 39.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I will have two watches to sell that I would like to look for a trusted dealer that will do, let's say, a consignment sale.
Yeah.
Just,
I'll tell
just
you,
to try to
you could
share
talk to
the.
Steve. Steve would love to work with you. He sells a lot of Rolexes on the used market. He would work with you. But I tell you, if we could find a buyer on the channel and they just
Yeah,
wired you the money, once that money's wired and safe in your account, I think you're safe to send it to them. Yeah, then there's no middleman, and you could give them a better buy, cut
yeah.
out the middleman, right?
No, so I will have to understand what I do with this. I also have a Daytona and a Breguet that I think that I will not use anyway. Too.
Well, there you go. I think the market is hot right now. It's the time to
Yeah,
think about consolidating and
yeah,
take a little bit of that money and put it in some Bitcoin. We're going to have the Bitcoin discussion another time. I want you to
yeah,
keep researching it, and then we'll have a discussion.
yeah.
Okay, I can
Mhm.
be the pro Bitcoin guy, and you can be the con. You can we can debate.
I think that, as I was writing, I think that it could be interesting to do the opposite.
Well, you
To
be pro
you're,
and I be con.
yeah,
We could do that. We could do that.
yeah,
We
it's
could
an
do it. We could do
exercise.
half and half. We could do a half an
Mhm.
hour with you being pro and a half, and when we switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could
Okay.
do both. Okay, well, think about it. But next
Thank
time,
you.
but when we do that, you need to be coming in from the computer, so you don't have to hold the phone the whole time.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
put Skype on your computer, so it's easier for
Okay.
you. Okay.
We can think of that if you
Well,
want at any time.
thank you very much for
Thank
calling
you.
in and the report from the field. Thank you very much,
Thank
Carlos.
you to you for the show.
I really
Okay.
appreciate it. Bye
Okay.
bye.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Bye bye.
So there you go, folks. That's the kind of in the field reporting that you get on this channel. Yeah, that's right. People with date 840s that are in motion, making things happen. All right, let me catch up on the comments here. Stunning. Okay, that's a F off piece. One and done piece. When you see anything like this, you realize all the steel sports hype is total BS from the pet shop boy. Well, the ones that are hyping the steel are the ones that can't afford a date 840. That's the name of that tune. And I'm getting that reflection again on this. Let me see if I can shim this. Oh, shoot. That's not going to work. All right, I'm going to have to do that next time. I'm getting the reflection from the light above me. Okay, let me do this. Let me switch to the diver just for a second, and let me cut this other overhead light off. I don't think I need this. Okay, there we go. All right, I cut off that. I have a light up above that gives more light here, but I don't really need that light. It's overkill. So, okay. Grand Seiko without the power reserve indicator created such a perfectly balanced dial. Yeah, those are nice. We're going to talk about those. Day dates are for the big dogs. Wolf. That is the walk-off home run watch. Turkey Vulture. I guess so. Should I sell my car and everything in my house for one? No, don't do that. Carlos making it happen. Yeah, he's out there in the field making things happen. Absolutely he is. The day date fits most like an 8-inch wrist straight out of the box. I don't think so, Durr. I think you're wrong on that. I think you better double check that, because I don't think they do. I think you got to buy extra links to get that big. I think it's about 7.5 inches out of the box. Somebody should be able to confirm that. It should be published somewhere, what the size is without buying extra links. But I think you're wrong on the 8-inch thing. Let's see here. And if they need to remove 2 to 3 links, you probably have about a 7-inch wrist. You might want to remeasure your wrist. Anyway, we'll figure all that out. That's above any other Rolex. Lucky guy. I don't think he's lucky. I think he's making things happen. Yeah, he's making his own luck is what he's doing. Yeah, most guys that are wearing a Date 840, have been making their own luck. That's the name of that tune. Let's see. Who needs another Rolex? I'm with you on that. Evening, everyone, from Thomas. Pet Shop Boy Craig, stop effing around and get one already. Pet Shop Boy wants me to get a Date 840. I'm thinking about it. I don't move quite as fast as Carlos. Carlos is a mover and shaker. Beautiful Date 8, Carlos, from Thomas. Who needs a wife with that watch? Haha, there you go. Carlos looks like such a top chap. Wear it in good health. See, that's what this channel's all about. This channel's about folks that are making things happen, folks that are in motion, folks that are positive. You notice how positive Carlos is about things? That's what this channel's about. For all the negativity and bad advice and all the other stuff, go to one of the other channels. And the trolls and all that, go to one of the other channels. I heard earlier today, Clive was talking about the watches again and talking about how some hold their value, and on some he's actually made money, and such a watch is worth so much more than what he paid for it. Here's the deal, folks. These watches aren't worth anything until you actually have a buyer and have the money in hand. It's called a bird in the hand. You can have a Batman and you can think it's worth X amount of dollars, but it ain't so easy. These aren't that fluid. They aren't that liquid. It's not that easy to get your money out of these watches. And so don't count your chickens and your eggs until they've hatched, right? And certainly don't consider these watches to be investments. These watches are expenses. They're luxury items. And if you look at them that way, then you won't get burned. If you count on them as being money in the bank, good luck with that working out. Anyway, that's my lecture on Rolexes and other watches as being investments for the day. Let's see. Is Carlos in the import-export business? Not sure what business he's in. That's a good question. Whatever he's in, he's successful. Can he show the other Rolex? Maybe next time we'll have him show some other Rolexes, especially if he's going to put them for sale here on the channel. Hey guys, this would be a good opportunity for you to get a decent deal. If he decides to sell them direct and not use a consignment guy, right? This way you can get more watch for the money. He can get a little more money. You split the difference, right? Let's say he's going to pay $3,000 to the reseller to resell it for him. Maybe instead of that, he takes $1,500 off the price, and he makes $1,500 more. You get it for $1,500 less. We cut out the middleman here, folks. Why don't we try to do that? Both parties win here. Put you two together. We'll see when he decides. If he decides to sell, we'll see if we can do that. He just casually mentions he also has a Daytona. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, he's a mover and shaker. I was making a Goodfellas reference. Okay, buy Tesla stock before it doubles. You think Tesla's going to go crazy? That's interesting. I'll have to look into that. I don't think so, though. Mail this man a tripod and a phone mount. Well, I think he's going to come in next with his, I think he has an iMac. I think he has a Mac desktop. He can just come in with that on Skype. That should work. Anyway, we'll figure it out. But hey, for a shot at a Day-Date 40, I don't mind him hand-holding the phone. Why wear Daytona when you have a Day-Date 40? I agree. The Day-Date 40 is 10 times more attractive, I think. I think a Day-Date 36 is more attractive. Great president, told you import and export. Good job, Craig. Somebody says, thanks a lot, Carlos. Was that Carlos? Come on, Turkey Vulture. Let's be respectful here. That's a different level watch collector. And it sounds like he might be consolidating. He might be getting away from the collecting, and he might be thinking about consolidating. I think that's impressive. I give him kudos for that. That Grand Seiko is so smooth. White gold is the way to go. I tell you, though, I'd get the yellow gold one for me. Of course, I don't go in dicey areas where it's likely that I'm going to get mugged, except for Baltimore occasionally. And nowadays, whenever I go anywhere like that, I have security with me, so I'm not as concerned. Let's see. On the GS Diver, the minute markers appear to be on an angled surface. Interesting look. I didn't notice it before your lighting on the watch was at an angle. Let's see. Let's take another look. Not sure what you mean by at an angle. Minute markers. No, they're not. That's just an optical illusion. They're just flat on the dial. They're just laid flat on the dial. They're three-dimensional. They have depth to them, but they're not on any kind of an angle. Now there is the minute markers. Oh, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, that is on a little bit of an angle. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was looking at the 5-minute markers. But yeah, the others are on a little bit of an angle. Yeah, it gives it a little depth. Looks pretty cool. It looks a lot better in person. I would never sell that white gold Day-Date. in the house. Go try them on. Then you will know for sure. Turkey Vulture. I'm surprised how many Day-Date 40 configurations don't have loom. Tesla will be worth $1 trillion in 10 years. Okay. It was a joke. I don't know, though. There's a lot of competition coming into that space. Tesla's going to have, especially when Toyota gets in, it's going to be tough. It's a risky investment. It was a joke, but some jokes are not funny, Turkey Vulture. The two best Rolex is a Day-Date white gold and Pepsi. Okay. The white gold would look great on anybody. Absolutely. You got mugged with your Segway. Yeah, they tried to step to me. I was loading everything in the car. The Segway was already loaded in, and a guy tried to step to me, but he backed down when I told him that was where they'd find him. So that was the closest I ever really got to somebody forcibly trying to take my, as he put it, I'm going to take your your S. He didn't say stuff. He had another 4-letter word. But anyway, let's see here. View deleted message. Yeah, this guy Tanzil, you've got to change your name there. That's pretty disgusting. So we're going to go ahead and hide you from the channel and figure out a better username than that. That's a pretty disgusting username. Here's a suggestion. Use your real name. How's that? Carlos, I'm not a collector. Just things happen without planning. Happen without planning. There you go. Thank you, Dur. And Carlos could get out of that Daytona now at the top of the market. I think that would be a good move. Your bezel on the GS doesn't line up just like on Seiko's bezel. Let's see here. No, I mean it. Well, again, camera angle has a lot to do with it. See on the left at the 45-minute marker, see how that's lined up? The other one doesn't look like it's lined up. It's a lot of the times it's the camera angle. So you see as you get around the 245, see how it's lined up there? So you can't take what you see on this camera as verbatim because of the distortion from the camera angle. It's what it is. It is what it is. Where does he go from here? He has Day Date and Daytona. I wonder if there's anything he dreams to own when he has the best already. Well, hopefully not. Hopefully he's happy with what he has. That's the best situation to be in. The problem that I have is once I purchased a watch, I do not sell the previous, and I almost not use the previous one. Yes, I hear you, Carlos. I understand. Well, hopefully we'll get you consolidated down and get some of those surplus watches sold while the market is still relatively hot. You should get him back on next time. Carlos is always welcome to come on and give us a report from the field. Absolutely, we'll have him on. We'll have him on to discuss. We're going to do the Bitcoin debate also one day. Which one would you buy, Hulk or Batman? I'd buy the Batman. Definitely. Definitely. With that Jubilee bracelet's gorgeous. The Grand Seiko secondhand seems so much smoother than my Tudor. Is it because of the spring? Yeah, well, it's completely smooth, Scott. There's no clicks. It's just completely smooth. It's smoother than anything because it's completely smooth. Craig, what's your opinion of the Tudor Black Bay 58? I wouldn't buy it. I'm not a Tudor fan, but I'm just not a Tudor fan. So it may be an excellent watch. I just wouldn't go there. There's a lot of watches I would spend my money on before I would spend it on that. Okay, so let's see what else we're going to look at here. Let's recap for folks that didn't see Steve's Baselworld photos. Let me go back through. The photos. Let me see here. Okay, I'm going to start on 21 here. Let me get this loaded in, and then we're going to go through the photos here real quick here. Okay, so that says wide shot. And there's looking down at the venue. That's really a cool shot. I liked that one. And these were from Steve. He's on his way home now, so he's in the air. So he'll hopefully join us tomorrow for a wrap-up discussion. But I'm just going through these photos real quick. And you can see there by the title what they are. This is the G-Shock booth. Grand Seiko. He was talking about all the interviews. They should have done more blogging and more live streams from there. Hopefully in the future they will. That's the future of all this, is blogging and live streaming. So there you go. It's going to be interesting to hear a detailed report from Steve once he gets settled in. I'll tell you, that's an attractive looking watch. It really is an attractive looking watch, if I do say so myself. That's the gold piece. No new dials on the Date 840 for Basel. I didn't notice any, but they've already got some great dials. So the problem is they don't have enough dials for the 36. That's the problem. Yeah, he should have a bunch more photos too when we have our next discussion with him. He should have a bunch more photos to share. Was it $25 lunch, did he say? Something like that. And I mean, for people that like a chunky, bulky watch, I guess that'll get the job done for them, but not my cup of tea. Okay. Now let's see what else we had to recap. And again, we talked about these the other day, the stunning Grand Seikos. And in my other video, you'll see the link to these articles. I didn't put it in this particular video, but I did put it in my previous one. But these things are stunning. These were to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the spring drive. So now they have the thinner dress watches. These are only like 10 mils thick. I think it's 9.7 for that one. Something like that. And I mean, these are just, there's the one with the smooth case. Those are both platinum. The hammered case and the smooth case. And then here's the gold. And I think the gold was right about 10 millimeters, 10 mils thick. Those are just gorgeous pieces. And then they did make a steel one. Here's a steel one for $7,600, I think. So, and that's just a gorgeous looking movement. I mean, they really did nail it with those dress watches. Patek Philippe, look out. Let's see, are you and Clive friends? I wouldn't say so. I mean, he basically made the comment that he's not going to come on my show anymore and that I'm not allowed on his show. So you ask him that question. I was always very friendly to him. I always treated him with respect. But sometimes sometimes folks don't reciprocate. Clive is a flipper. Yeah, I guess so. He calls himself the Watch Wrangler, so that makes sense. Your view on Archie. Archie is an entertainer. Archie is a natural talent. If you look at some of his older videos back in the day, and his video that has the most views, they didn't have all the foul language and all the nasty stuff in them. And then he's just kind of gone that way as far as all the nasty stuff. And I think it's a shame because I think his channel would have had real potential. I think he could have gotten some high-dollar sponsors. I know that when I talked to Steve about him, Steve was like, no, I have no interest, right? Because I told Steve, you should contact him and you should sponsor him. And Steve watched one or two of his shows and said, no, not going to do it. So I think the foul language and the nastiness and all the trolls that he hangs out with, I think that it really hurts him as far as getting any kind of sponsors and really doing something positive with that channel, which is a shame because he's a natural talent. But, I think those decisions, I think he's kind of shot himself in the foot. Let's see here. But I like Archie. I mean, he did a review for me, and I've been on his show, and evidently he doesn't want me on his show anymore either, but that's because of the trolls, I think. But because the trolls aren't allowed here. They're not welcome here. So this is a troll-free zone. So that, yeah, so that I guess there's a divide. There's everybody on my side of the divide are troll-free, people that are in motion, that are making things happen, that are positive. And then on the other side of the divide are the trolls and the nastiness and all that stuff. So we try to keep those separated. Gold Grand Seiko is stunning. Yeah, it was. That gold GS is nice. David Williams in the house. Archie has a real passion for his hobby. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like I say, it's a shame that you know, he went the way that he did as far as the vulgarity and all that stuff, because I think that really hurts him for getting sponsors. And it doesn't help him to have that corporate channel where supposedly he's not doing that stuff, because they're going to see him on the other channels. And they're going to see what he does and all that. And that's just going to nix any deal that he might otherwise have been able to do. Archie is a comedian. He's the Richard Pryor of the watch world. Exactly. But the problem is that that's going to hurt him as far as getting any decent sponsors. I believe that SWAT show is this week. Okay. Archie can get a Pizza Hut sponsor. Maybe. Archie loves trolls. There you go. It would be so much better if GS had bracelets to go with their high-end models. I think most customers of high-end models want the metal bracelet. On these dress watches, I don't know. I think it would be good to have something like the Date 8, something like the Date Just, like a dressier watch with a bracelet. I agree with that, but as far as their really higher end stuff with the leather straps and all, I mean, look at Patek Philippe. I mean, almost all their high end stuff are on straps. I mean, occasionally you'll have one with a bracelet, but that's the exception to the rule. So I think it depends on the market you're going after, but I would love to see them come out with some watches that would compete with like a Date 8, compete with like a Date Just, you know, a trimmer on the wrist, a watch that you could wear all the time. I think that'd be super cool. Hopefully they'll do that. Let's see. You should get a Porsche sponsor. Show us your mic setup. Does it go into USB, Andrew? Does the audio sound okay today? And then I'll explain what I'm doing. Let me know how everything sounds. Rolex will only put the Oyster on an all-gold GMTs from now on. The steel GMTs get the Jubilee. They might mix it up at some point, but I don't see a problem with the Jubilees on the GMTs, because years ago, that's what we often bought. That's what I had years ago, was an all-black GMT with the Jubilee bracelet, and it was fantastic. Let me know if you want to see a picture of that. I'll show you a picture. So I don't have a problem with the Jubilee on that, because I think it's a more comfortable bracelet. I think it looks better. And it's not a dive watch. It's not supposed to be a dive watch. Craig, take a look at Moser watches and give us your thoughts. Moser. Let's pull that up. Moser watches. And this is the type of thing that it would probably be better for Steve to comment on, because he really knows a lot about these different models and watches. Yeah, these are kind of like more artsy watches than real practical watches. I'm more into watches that are more practical. But yeah, I mean, for somebody who wants that sort of thing, I don't know what that is. Is that a smartwatch or something, that square thing? I mean, to buy a smartwatch and not just buy an Apple Watch, I think would be a serious mistake, because Apple... Yes, Craig, yes, Craig, show your picture of the GMT. Okay, GMT. GMT, give me a second here. Let me see if it'll come up here. Let me see. Okay, yeah, I got a bunch of GMT photos came up, so we'll show you a bunch of them here. What do you think about that? Okay, there is the GMT, the black GMT, and let me see if I can go to the original size here. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I didn't want to download. Cancel that. I want to view all sizes. Go to the original so we can at least get punched in a little bit here. I don't know, it's not going to be that clear because this is a photo of a photo, but there it is. There she blows. That's about as good as I can get. This was from about 1985 or so, somewhere in that time frame. And let me just go through real quick all of my GMT photos because I did a search and all my GMT photos came up. So I will go through all of those. What brand might, we're going to talk about the audio here in a second. Just give me a second here. Let's do this GMT thing first. Uh-oh, I think I just did the wrong thing. I just went back to the, let me shoot. Okay. Well, we'll just go through these pretty quick. There's a GMT with me with like a real smug look. There's my friend. He also had a GMT. That's Richard. He and I both always had Rolexes. There's another shot of that one. Same shot, but with different coloring. There I am. Now that one you can't really tell, but that GMT had an oyster bracelet on it. There's a Grand Seiko GMT. Stunner with ceramic on it. Too thick for my taste, though. Now that is a stunner. Those are stunning. But again, a little bit thick on the wrist for my taste, but they are a stunning watch. That GMT chronograph, spring drive, I mean, talk about an amazing piece of kit. So, okay, we're going to go through the setup here. Let's see. Your view on, it's a parody of the Apple Watch. Your view on TGV, are his subs and views real? Oh, I have no idea. It's possible. He does very good production quality. I think it's very possible that whatever he has is real. Who knows? If you had the Batman on Oyster, would you sell it for the new one or keep? Oh my gosh, I'd sell it. If I could get out of that watch, I'd get out. Hard as I can get out. I'd want to get the new movement and the Jubilee bracelet. Absolutely. And these people that say the old one is going to be a collector's item and it's going to soar in value and all of this stuff, yeah, good luck with that working out. No, I'd dump that thing so quick. I'd dump it to one of those people that think the value is going to go soaring high. Let them get caught holding the bag. Apple needs to make their AirPod 2. What brand, Mike? Why did you sell your GMT? Well, that was years ago. I don't remember. But, yeah, I've been through a number of watches. That was the mid-'80s. You know, that was like 35 years ago or something, you know. Time goes by. You move from one watch to the other. For a while, I was wearing an Omega Seamaster 120. What model GS do you have, Craig? This one is the SBGA231. It's the spring drive titanium diver. Spring drive titanium diver. That's the only one I have right now. I sold my dress watch a few weeks back. Best USB mic in your mind. Okay. All right, let's talk about the setup here. Would you purchase a Rolex or a GS first? Right now, if I found a GS that really met my needs, I would go GS. But if I didn't find a GS that really met my needs, then I would get the Rolex. So, you know, I would look first at the GSs and see if one really meets my needs, and I'd go that way. Otherwise, I would go with the Rolex. Okay, so let's go through the setup here. So real quick now, As far as the way everything's feeding here, I've got the audio. This mic is a SM57, a Beta 57A mic, Shure Beta 57A, and I do have a review here on my channel. That's the microphone. It's going into this recorder here, which is a Mix Pre 6 field recorder. And right now I'm not recording with this, but this is what I would normally be using in the field to record high quality audio. It has very good preamps and so forth. So I'm taking the audio from this and I'm feeding it into the Roland switcher here. It's going into the mic input on this side. You can't see the plug, it's going in the side here. It's a 3.5 millimeter mic input on this. This has a mic input. And so, and then that also gives me the benefit of a limiter here. So if I scream, ah, the limiter kicks in and it helps with that, right? So this has a really good analog limiter built into it. So then the audio goes into here. So then all the 4 video feeds go into this. That is camera 1 here, camera 2 here, camera 3, and then the laptop. That's 4 feeds going into the switcher, right? So then the output of this goes to, and by the way, this monitor right here shows the 4 camera shots that I have available to me, those 4 feeds. It's like a monitor to show what 4 feeds you have. And then the output on this goes into a splitter, and then one of them goes to this big monitor here that shows me what my output is from the switcher. So I know whatever's on at any given time, even though sometimes I don't pay attention to that and something isn't on that I think is on. But anyway, that's what I'm supposed to be paying attention to. And then the other feed goes into the Video Pro. See over here? This is the Video Pro streaming box. Okay, so the other output feed from the Roland switcher goes into that Video Pro streaming box. And that streaming box, the audio from this also goes via HDMI into that box. So that's how the audio gets in, is via HDMI. And that box is hooked up with a Cat5 cable to the internet, and that allows me to stream at a pretty good bit rate, 1080p high definition. And I'm monitoring your comments right here on the laptop, right on the iPad in front of me here. And then here's the laptop next to me that I'm using for that other feed when I'm showing you the photos. So that's basically a quick run through of the setup here. Hope that answers those questions. Okay. Do Shure mics make USB mics? Andrew's asking. If you want to use professional mics, I would get a Shure MVI mixer. Shure MVI audio interface. And that plugs right into your computer, USB, but it gives you an XLR that you can plug any pro mic into. And that's a very versatile device. You can use that also with an iPhone. It comes with a cable to plug into an iPhone. It's a very versatile device. You can buy them on eBay for about $100. They're about $130 retail. Sometimes you can snag them for less on eBay. But that's a very useful device. That's a great way to get pro-grade audio into a computer or a phone. It's called a Shure MVI mixer. And I have reviews on my channel here for it. And there are other USB mics you can use, like a Yeti. I have one on my workstation that I record my voiceovers. It's called a Yeti by Blue, B-L-U-E, I think it is, Yeti. But I would probably go the direction of getting a Shure MVI mixer because you've got more versatility with that. You can plug in any XLR microphone then, even a phantom powered. It even has phantom power. You can use like a little lav mic with it. You know, you can even plug in a 1/4 inch. So if you're playing a guitar and you want to bring the audio in from the guitar, it has a 1/4 inch input in the middle of that XLR input. So it's a combination jack. Okay, so Craig, with new 70-hour power reserve and GS quartz stunners, couldn't you recommend a 3 or 4 watch rotation? I'm trying to get away from the rotation thing. It's kind of a hassle to have to take your watch on and off. Especially if you're traveling, right? If you're down to a one-watch rotation, then you can just bring one watch with you, right? So there's some real advantages, I think, to having a one-watch rotation. Okay. Let's see here. Craig with the new 70-hour. Okay. Which watch did you keep the longest? Probably the 18238 day date. I kept it 19 years. That's the longest, I'm sure. Oh, excuse me. 19 years. I think that's the record. And the only reason I sold that is it was getting so I couldn't really read the time very well because they had the silver dial and there wasn't enough contrast between the hands and the dial. And so without my reading glasses on, which a lot of times I don't have my reading glasses on. Now, if I was out in daylight, I could read it fine. But if I was in lower light, I just couldn't read it well. And so that's really why I stopped wearing it. And once I stop wearing a watch, it doesn't live long, or it gets sold. It gets sold off. If I'm not wearing it, it's going to go. That's the way I look at it. Best everyday Rolex. Well, we've talked about that on some other shows. I think the Datejust 36 is fantastic. Obviously, any day date would be fantastic. I think an Explorer 1 would be fantastic. I think an Oyster Perpetual would be fantastic. Message deleted by Infiltrator Browser. Who is Infiltrator Browser? Should we get rid of that? That sounds like a scammer. Shoot, this guy's getting in there and how the hell do you get rid of him? Infiltrator Browser. Huh. That's interesting. I don't know how we get rid of that entity. I guess it's somebody playing games, some nasty person. Looking at your cufflinks, you really need a new day date. We'll see. Tough question. They're all built pretty rugged, especially the modern stuff. Check out Sweetwater in the U.S. or Tom in Europe for plenty of USB mics. Yeah, if you want to go USB mic, get a Yeti. I don't know what you're trying to do, though, and what kind of versatility that you want. If you want more versatility, I'd get the Shure MVI interface. You can never get enough of those Costco lens cleaning cloths. Yeah, they do come in handy. I have others that are better, though. A no-date Submariner, Oyster Perpetual 39, or Explorer 39 would make great everyday do-it-all Rolexes. There you go. Thomas says, nice setup. What's the budget for such a setup? It starts adding up pretty quick is the problem. The switcher, you're going to pay around $800 if you get a good buy on it. It's $1,000, I think, retail. The MVI mixer, that's probably $800 or $900. Not the MVI mixer, that's on my brain. The Mix Pre 6, but you could use a different for your audio interface. You don't have to use this, but this gives you those nice limiters, so I would recommend it. So the Mix Pre 6 is probably $800 or $900. The Video Pro is, you can buy them for around $500 to $700 usually on eBay. And then you got to get a bunch of cables. You got to get some monitors. And then, of course, you got to have the cameras, too. And you can spend as much as you want on the cameras. And then, of course, you have to have the microphone. The microphone's about $100. It starts adding up, but it's not bad. It's not terrible. Let's see. You bastard tried to ban me. Remove moderator. Hide user on this channel. Okay. All right, we got rid of infiltrator browser, I guess. Jeez, what did these nasty people? What in the heck? They get off on just causing trouble. Why don't they go to some other website and do that? You know? I mean, why do they have to be nasty about stuff? That's my question. Craig, my 3-watch rotation, Daytona ceramic black for every day, JLC master calendar for dress, and Cellini white gold for formal. That sounds pretty cool. If you like the Daytona, I mean, I don't have a need for the stopwatch functionality and all that on the Daytona, so I would go a different direction with that one. I would probably have gotten like a Yachtmaster personally instead of the Daytona. But no, if you like that, I hit him with the wrench, Craig, Turkey Vulture. Well, somehow he got a wrench, and I took it away from him, and then I blocked him. But I don't know how he got a wrench. He ended up with a wrench. Hopefully he's gone now. I don't know. I don't know if he's gone or not. We'll see. And he may have blocked people that shouldn't be blocked too. So we might have to go through and figure that out. What are these people? What are these people? They get off on doing this stuff. I mean, I think it'd be really cool if they passed a law that hackers are just shot on sight. Just shoot them in the head. That's how much I think they contribute to society. They should just be removed permanently from society. Hackers cause so much trouble for people and so much anguish, especially for older people. The anguish that they cause. And don't get me started on these people that harass people to the point where they commit suicide. I mean, it's just unbelievable. They literally cause people to take their lives, some of these nasty trolls. Anyway. Well done, Craig. David Williams says, I don't know what was well done. I mean, this guy, I don't know how this guy infiltrated. I guess we got to be a lot more careful when we give out wrenches. I guess somebody came in and acted decent, and we gave them a wrench, and then they changed their name to Infiltrator or whatever and came in and infiltrated. I don't know exactly how they did that, but they did it. You may have to unhide several regular viewers. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's just all this problems that they cause. Looks like we have a wrench impersonator. Yeah, we did. We had an infiltrator, and that's what he called himself. I think he just timed people out. He didn't hide anybody, I don't think. I think he might have hid a couple people. He did, actually. Yeah, David Williams says. David, can you let me know who he hid? I'm going to try to take a look right now to see if I can get in there before we forget. And I can unhide some people. Let me just see if I can get in there. And you can put in the chat anybody you think that might have been hidden that I should unhide. I'm trying to get in there now. But as you know, this laptop doesn't run real fast when I'm in the middle of streaming, so it is what it is. Settings, here we go. Going into my settings. Have to be very careful who gets a wrench. Yeah. Infiltrator browser was obviously Archie. I don't know how we know that. I would have never given Archie a wrench. Okay, let's see. I guess these are in the order they were hidden. I guess they'll be down at the bottom. Okay, we got Las Vegas was hidden. Does Las Vegas get unhidden? We got Jack Black hidden. Okay, I'll put it this way. Anybody that got hidden that thinks they're legitimate, send me an email with your handle, and I'll unhide you. Just send me an email, because otherwise I don't know who the real grinders are and who's an actual decent human being. Craig, do you have experience with Zoom microphones like the H1? I was thinking of getting one. The H1 is a recorder. It's more for recording audio. It's not really, I wouldn't use it for a microphone. That's a good recorder, but I wouldn't use it as a microphone. It's an entry-level recorder. Let's see here. Andrew Prescott. Okay, so Andrew, he's giving me some names here. I don't see Andrew Prescott as being Danny. I don't see these people. Aren't they normally at the bottom of the list? And Scott, I don't see them here as being banned. He hid, Scott. Hid Scott McClendon. I don't see him on my list here, though. I wonder where they are on the list. Oh, Carlos SS is here. I can undo him. Now Derek is here. So they are not in any particular order. That's the problem, is me now finding them. Look, see the trouble that these people cause. This is why decent people stop doing shows like this. And I'll stop. They'll be successful. They'll get me to stop if they keep harassing me enough. I'll stop. I don't need this, you know. Scott McClendon, here he is. Here's Scott. Okay. And Danny. That's the problem. These aren't in any particular order. They're not in alphabetical order or anything. So I got to sit here and look through all these grinders to try to find the real person. Here's Danny. Okay. Andrew Prescott. Andrew Prescott. Here's Andrew. All right, I don't know if we got them all, but I'm saving those changes. So I got those. Yeah, pretty amazing. Pretty amazing stuff, folks. This is why, you know, it's probably not a good idea to support those channels that are full of trolls, because it's supporting this type of activity. But you know, you guys do what you want to do, but you're going to end, what's going to happen is you're going to end up where that's all you're going to have is the channels that are full of trolls. You're not going to have any decent channels with decent people because they're not going to put up with this nonsense. That's what's going to happen there. Carlos, it looks like an accident. What do you mean looks like an accident, Carlos? I think that was somebody coming in. I think that was very much on purpose. I don't think there was any accident there. They were coming in hammering people. Craig, there were some new people recently who came onto the live stream and were begging for wrenches. I bet you it's one of those guys. Let's get back on topic, David. Well, David, we're putting out a fire here. I mean, if there's anybody else we need to deal with, we need to deal with them. And if there's anybody else that got hidden, we got to figure out how to get them back. So just, Andrew Prescott, what about TGV channel? Is it fake views? I don't know, Andrew. Somebody else asked me about that. How would I know? I think he does, his production quality's good. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets real views. I think he does a good job. Just responding to previous comment about calling the mafia. Okay. Craig, please stay away from channels where the trolls are given free reign. Don't give your tacit support for hosts who's enabling trolling. I'm not. I've been speaking out against the trolling forever. I mean, I haven't been given support for them. I just recommended that people probably not watch those channels. I think that's a good first start. I've stopped watching them. I don't watch them. Life is too short to encourage and support trolls. That's what I say. All right, get back on topic. I don't even know what the topic was at this point. I think we'd pretty much covered everything we were going to cover. MM was also hidden by the troll. MM. Do you like micro brands? I'm not a fan of micro brands, personally. No. I don't see a need to buy micro brands. I mean, Steve sells a lot of them, and he's enamored with some of them. And I'm sure some of them are great watches. But I'm not enamored with them. And we're going to go over the list here real quick. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, David. I'm going to go over the list real quick of the people that have wrenches so that we can see if there's any trolls that still have wrenches. But in the meantime, I'm going to try to find MM and reinstate him. Just give me a second here. And if there's anybody else that needs to be reinstated, please let me know. While I'm in here, I can do them too. I don't see MM right now. Oh, there it is. Okay, there's MM. And folks, I wish you all would put icons with your thing so you don't have that generic icon. Put your damn photo on there, for gosh sakes. That's what makes trolls really look like trolls, is they never have a photo. Okay. Do you have any thought about Omega Globemaster? We'll take a look at that in a second here. Take a look at that in a second. Okay. Invicta 9937 was a pretty good watch, to tell you the truth. 9937, that would be the only Invicta that I would recommend if you could get a good one. They're not bad if you get a good one. It's quality control issues. You got to make sure you get a good one. Let's see here. Okay, so I'll tell you who has wrenches right now. Turkey Vulture, Blue, Little Treasury, Sally Balt's brother, Dan Radke, Audrey has one, Lori Butler has one, James Estrada has one, Andrew, hopefully we got rid of the bad guys, so I don't need to read the rest of these. It is what it is. Okay, we're going to move on, folks. We're going to move on. Until we see that we have a problem, we're going to assume we've solved the problem. I believe it was Trayvon Hussein who was the rogue mod. That's what he said anyhow. Trayvon Hussein. Okay. Okay, let's see here. See if he's still in here as a moderator. I don't think so. I think he's gone. At least that name is not in here. Of course, he could change his name, right? See, I don't understand. I don't understand YouTube. Why they allow people to just willy-nilly just create accounts and with whatever name they choose and all this stuff. At least Facebook is a little bit harder to do that sort of thing. You can do it, but it's trickier, right? Why in the hell they don't adopt a more real name policy on YouTube? Why they encourage this activity? It's just beyond me. This is why I don't have an Android phone, right? Talk about Steve Jobs famously said, a bag of hurt. Well, that's what Google is. Google's a freaking bag of hurt. Let's see here. I would rather buy a watch made with a company with established credentials and a long track record. Microbands often leave as fast as they arrive. You do not want to be stuck with a limit. I hear you, Brian. I absolutely hear you on that. Photos mandatory. Sir Fred, 200. I think Vegas was right. Okay. Give me a wrench. I'm one of your earliest fans. See, that's the problem. Now I don't know. Now we don't know if we should give elite mathlete a wrench or not. That's the problem. I got to have at least 3 wrench gang members verified that you're good to go before we're going to give out any more wrenches. We need 3 wrench members to say, yes, do it. The Globemaster is a nice looking watch. Okay, let's look at the Globemaster. Omega Globemaster. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, that's pretty cool looking. Wonder how thick it is. That would be my question. Oh, I hate these pop-ups and all this crap. Get off my lawn, people. See, that's the thing. I don't know how thick this watch is. I'll put it this way. If it's more than 12 mils thick, I would pass on it just because anything on a leather strap, I figure it to be a dress watch. And if it's more than 12 mils thick, I would pass on it. Okay, so he came in about 3 days ago because people love to troll. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing that they don't have anything more productive to do with their life. What do you think about Omega? Okay. PLOPROF. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That was in my ugly watch video, for gosh sakes. That's what you're talking about? Yeah. Not going to be on my wrist. I would caution. Vegas says in the house. Vegas is in the house. Love the Omega. It's very underrated watch. I'd pass on that. let's cool it for a while. Carlos, you have to have a dinner with the wrench candidate before granting it. That's a good point, Carlos. That's a very good point. Why do you let these girls use your channel? Are you talking about the Cowgirls live show Monday nights at 10 o'clock? I mean, it's a fantastic show. And, you know, this is another good example. I mean, the trolls have been a pain in the neck asking questions like that, stupid questions like that. Why would I not let her have a show on my channel? Let's go there. Why would I not try to help her out and try to help her promote her brand and get a following? Why would I not do that? Steve is probably going to have a show on my channel. I'm going to have a bunch of people having shows. I'm trying to put together a network here of interesting content, and it's not all going to be about watches. And let me give you a tip if you're a troll in your mom's basement. When you meet a girl, don't start talking to her about watches, okay? Because most girls aren't going to care about watches. Here's the rule with girls. There's only one rule with girls. You talk to them about what they want to talk about. Not what you want to talk about. It's what they want to talk about. So if you watch one of Sarah's shows, don't ask her about watches. Ask her about horses. Ask her about her saddle. Ask her about anything that she's interested in. Don't ask her about watches, for gosh sakes, people. My gosh. I'd buy Craig dinner for a wrench. There you go. It's different if we were talking about $300 or so for a micro brand. It might be interested in something very design-led if they were enjoyable to own, but for watches in the thousands, no. Exactly, and I'm not interested in wearing a $300 watch, so that would let those out. No, Upper Diver, are you talking about this one here? Yeah, that's pretty freaking amazing. That diver there, not that Omega. What is Andrew Prescott being a jerk? And somebody else came in here with my name. Jeez. These people are unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh, jeez. It's like the CNN network of YouTube. Don't give anyone a wrench to people asking for wrenches. A lot of us were awarded wrenches by you, and we did not ask for one. We need to award wrenches by merit only. I hear you, R-Wags. Yeah, we're really, it's going to be a cautionary thing here at this point. I don't actually want a wrench. I haven't earned it yet. Major design flaw that the date is completely obstructed. Could be dangerous if you're using it in the real world. Okay, not sure what he's talking about there. All right, I'm getting hungry, and we haven't made a whole lot of progress here today, but we made a little bit. And by the way, I still don't have the money is still not in my Coinbase Pro account, so I can't buy the Bitcoin today live. But what I'm planning on doing is when the money arrives in my account, it usually takes around 5 business days. So I think it was Tuesday that I initiated it, so it might not be till Tuesday. But anyway, here's my account. And when the money shows up over here under US dollars, it's going to be $4,000 that I transferred to the account. I'm doing this so I can demonstrate to you guys how I buy Bitcoin. So when that's in there, I'm going to place a limit order to buy 1 Bitcoin. And hopefully Bitcoin will still be below 4,000. Right now it's below 4,000, 39.56, right? Right here, see? So hopefully it will still be below 4,000 when the money is in my account. And then I'm going to place a limit order and buy 1 Bitcoin, just to show you guys how it's done. And then once I buy the Bitcoin, I'll move it to my hardware wallet. I don't leave my Bitcoin on an exchange. That could be dangerous, to leave Bitcoin on an exchange. Just 1 Bitcoin is probably not a problem, but I'll just move it over with all my other Bitcoin off of the exchange. Let's see. Okay, I think we're done. I don't see any other questions, comments that we need to address right now. So I think we are going to be done with this broadcast. Would you let Archie go on your channel with a cowgirl? No, probably not. Probably that's not going to happen. Advice for how much total watch value a person can afford. I suggest no more than 1.5% of net worth. I'd say 0.5%. I'd say 1.5% is too much. That's an awful lot. I used to always say 1 week's income. You spend 1 week's income on a watch. And I think that makes sense. So from a standpoint of percentage of net worth, you know, I would say 1.5% is a little bit heavy, personally. Thanks, Craig. I will get a picture on my profile. Have a healthy dinner. R-Wags. And R-Wags, we got to get you in to talk about some of this financial stuff, too. So get ready to Skype into a show. Sort of like Carlos did. Skype in and give us, we'll do a report. Thanks, Craig. Don't let the trolls win. Keep moving forward. Vegas with a comment and a suggestion. Andrew, have a great week, guys. All right. We're going to stop this puppy. Hey, remember, click that bell. Click that bell. The net worth question is a good one for our live stream. There you go. Yeah, let me know when we can do that. Mr. Wags, let me know, and we'll make that happen. So make sure you click the bell. Carlos is still in the house. Carry on, everybody.